go through the city. These are infrastructure issues which sort out the traffic problem. It's not lack of mobility which sorts out the traffic problem. There's no problem. You don't have to buy further cars in Bangalore. That's not the issue. That's not going to solve your traffic problem though, or your mobility problem. I think it's an issue of having the planning of the road infrastructure across the country. The part of the growth of the industry, a part of the growth of mobility has improved with the Golden Quadrilateral highways. I don't know if you've traveled in any of the rural parts where the new highways have come up, and you can move very, very fast. The time taken from here to Pune has come down. The time taken to the airport has come down by half. There is a difference, but it requires infrastructure. That's where you have to address the root cause. But you have to increase mobility across the country if you want to grow the GDP of the country, and you have to grow the rural infrastructure of the country.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I think the questions can go on. Let us do it in the networking dinner we have after the event. Let me request our incoming president, Mr. Chandramouli, to do the vote of thanks.
Good evening. Shri D.K. Shivakumar, Honorable Minister for Energy, Government of Karnataka. Shri Vikram Kirloskar, Vice Chairman, Toyota Kirloskar Motor Private Limited. Dr. Devi Prasad Shetty, Chairman, Narayana Group of Hospitals. Distinguished invitees, members of the diplomatic corps, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening to all of you. It gives me a great pleasure to be here to offer the vote of thanks for the distinguished dignitaries and others who are present on this auspicious occasion of the annual general meeting of the Bangalore Chamber of Commerce. It was rather unfortunate that we did not have the august presence of Sri Sadananda Gowdaji, but I think it's more than made up by the excellent speeches and the pearls of wisdom which we had received today. Since morning, I could see a good logic behind the program. We started off with infrastructure, with excellent speakers there, and after listening to Honorable Minister of Energy, I think we are very secure on the energy side. And then the industrial entrepreneurship illustrated by none other than Sri Vikram Kirloskar. And the 21st century growth of any industry is going to be driven by the healthcare and education. So needless to mention, we have an excellent program today, and my honorable duty to thank all the speakers today and want to mention a few takeaways on this day before we break for dinner. Mr. Harish, President of Bangalore Chamber, set the tone today and released the book through the Honorable Minister of Energy on doing business in Karnataka. And the minister himself referred to that book several times during the conversation. I think, if anything, this seminar today has achieved its purpose, and it's only a teaser book which was released. The big one is just around the corner. And when that comes, I can tell you, Mr. Minister mentioned that he will be the ambassador to the government of Karnataka on behalf of the industry which constitutes 39% of the revenues, which subsidize the balance 61% of the citizens, is indeed a revelation of sorts. Thank you very much, sir, for the pearls of wisdom. And I learned a little bit today that in his own career of forming industry or business, and of course he's a leader of education also. I was happy to be in one of his colleges, and along with him we had conducted a seminar in the great Global Institute of Education. And he really appreciated that doing business in Karnataka and doing business in India is not at all easy. But together, the industry and the government of Karnataka and the bureaucracy can resolve this problem. We are very, very confident, sir. And I think a very methodical approach, the way you laid out today, can make a huge difference and you are going to lead the revolution on the energy sector by 1,000 megawatt of solar power, and of which an innovative concept of rooftop policy, which can be all the industries can make a note of this. There are a lot of literature available, and this is going to be a revolution. Already Japan and Europe has set the tone on this concept, and I think 9 rupee 20 paisa is not a bad price for that compared to the 16 rupees we pay for captive generation of power. And I think on that one particular issue alone, I can believe that the 10,000 megawatts will be added to the 14,000 megawatts, notwithstanding the 30% of T&D losses, which is coming down to 15%. But having said that, he had the courage to admit very candidly the support of the union government along with the efforts of the state government, regardless of which parties are running these institutions, shows a maturity of the Indian polity, and the 8 lakh crore of power to farmers, I think, is going to see the end of the day over a period of time. And with that sagacity and the words of wisdom, thank you very much to the Minister of Energy. And coming back a little bit on the excellent presentation by Mr. Vikram Kirloskar and Dr. Devi Shetty, a couple of points from my perspective. Mr. Kirloskar, I am sure with the efforts of the Chamber of Commerce and the Government of Karnataka, the QCD movement of the Toyota systems can also be the very parameters that can be measured by the Government of Karnataka as well. And the chain reaction of the slowdown from automotive to the capital goods industry can be easily reversed. And why not take a challenge that the Government of Karnataka will lead the rest of the country in reversing this manufacturing GDP, as it were. And the targets for the manufacturing task force can be a good benchmark to revive the economy from the current situation. And the kind of learning that we had from Dr. Devi Shetty, who made a path-breaking opening remark of the unhealthy issues of the health sector. He is very, very candid to admit the problems which are confronted by his own sector and the regulatory bottlenecks coupled with the processes of safety for the patients. And of course, iPads can do some revolution, but iPads may not substitute the sincerity and the skills of the doctors and the nurses and the various technicians. It's an excellent takeaway, sir, and we really thank you. And I hope the hurricane in the medical industry due to malpractice compensation will never hit this nation with the leadership of people like Dr. Devi Shetty. Thank you very much, Doctor, for the eye-opening remarks. And today, I think the various manufacturing industries which are present in this room also understand the travails of the health sector, notwithstanding the efforts of NSDZ, the skill councils. There is a lot of work to be done on this sector as well. May I take this opportunity to honor the great speakers of the day to give a standing ovation by all the audience today. Thank you. Thank you very much. Please be seated. The most important recognition of the speech, the visionary advice and the visionary contribution of the various speakers, and especially Mr. D.K. Shivakumar, Bangalore Chamber of Commerce would like to acknowledge by a small memento to be given by our President to Mr. D.K. Shivakumar. And it will not be fair on my part if I don't acknowledge the efforts of the organizing committee to put together the whole day event in the afternoon as well as this evening, and the media who has covered it very well during the whole day, and the various dignitaries on the dais and off the dais who have come in big numbers. I thank you, all of you, to come from the far end of the Bangalore. I think after the cocktail and dinner, it's going to be a little difficult, but I'm sure the infrastructure improvements promised in the morning will ensure that the Friday evening traffic towards your respective homes will be very peaceful and comfortable. Thank you very much.